you guys doing? This is Ron Taylor here with Real Useful News. I have my beautiful co-host, Miss Lola George, and we're here to interview the great motivational speaker, Greg, the master of Real Talk. Miss Lola George, why don't you give the people a quick introduction as to what your show on Thursday is about?
Well, it's actually Fridays, but thank you for that. On Fridays at the 1917 American Bistro, located on Detroit's west side, I do a live radio broadcast called Detroit Live, the Sound of Music Radio, where I feature and I introduce new artists, poets, singers, or musicians. But I love to focus independent artists that have not quite made it to commercial appeal, to commercial fame yet. So I play music, we have interviews, we talk about love and relationship, all of those types of things. And then I also do an artist showcase called Detroit Live, where I get an opportunity to really showcase local talent at a high level. It's not karaoke, no. It's not your traditional open mic, because although the mic is open, it's really not open. I screen everybody. And I'm the worst person that will ever touch my mic. So if you can't do what I do or better, it's not in your best interest to even think about it. Because I'm not afraid to use the word no. But, you know, I just want to bring the best out of people, and I only want to display and show the best.
Right on. Very much so understandable. So that's Friday.
Fridays, every Friday from 4 to 7 at the 1917 American Bistro, located at 19416 Livernois on the west side of Detroit. We're there from 4 to 7. And then once a month on Mondays, this Monday coming up, I'll be doing a charity event to celebrate the Genesis House, but I'll be doing a live showcase once a month every first. Let's look at the first and second Monday of the month. So Greg, the master of Real Talk, where did we get the title Master of Real Talk?
We got the title. The title was created by myself. I created that title because I feel like I've been talking real things for so long that I'm the master of it, because I do it all the time. I barely have frivolous conversation.
All right. You have a PhD in talking. With that being said, you're a motivational speaker. When did you accept a call, or what made you walk into the lane of motivational speaking? What happened?
Well, I always have had what we call in the neighborhood the gift of gab. And at that time, I was using it for the wrong purposes. Getting women, tricking guys into doing different things for me, things like that. And upon being incarcerated, I was able to use that in a different light, because I was able to take on different leadership roles within the prison system, which made me be able to speak and change guys' life. So that's how I knew that I had a calling, and this is what my gift of gab, if you may say, was supposed to be used for.
Very understandable. What was it, or what turn of events happened when you said, you know what, this is why I was called here. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to do it correctly.
What happened was I was able to actually change guys' life. People would actually come to me after I was doing these different presentations inside of the penitentiary system. Guys would come to me and say, you really moved me, from all ages. And that made me know that I had the ability to touch people with words and make them move in the right direction.
When it comes to real talk and dealing with men and women, do you think there's a difference in your approach giving real talk to men versus women?
No, it's not a difference to me, because real talk is not about who you delivering it to. The word real is a word that makes you be, it's an active word. If you say this is real music, that music makes you want to dance, it makes you want to feel good. So in turn, what real talk does is it makes the person active. So I don't use a different approach. I just make sure that I'm being the example of the message that I'm bringing.
Okay. Next question, which is, what are some of the differences in how life is played out as a man compared to how it is played out as a woman? I'm going to translate that question to where I can understand it. What's the difference between the fucked up stuff from being a man versus a woman?
Actually, to me, life is not based on gender. When you're talking about how life is going to play out, that's up to the determination of the individual. So you said, you know, how things will play out in a negative manner. the end result is going to be the same regardless if it's a male or a female. So the thing about it is negative things are different for gender. Like for a man, negative things might be selling drugs. For a woman, negative things may be getting pregnant, but they both going to throw you off. So life is played out based on the decisions that the individual make, not the gender.
Let's stay right there right quick. And when we look at male-female, let's talk about pregnancy. That is an action that takes a man and a woman to do together. Many times, and this is not all the time, but many times the end result of that action is that the young lady bears the brunt of the responsibility. Unfortunately, that's a part of our society. But when it comes to dealing with that scenario, how would you advise a young man that just got a young woman pregnant, or how would you advise a young lady that just found out, hey, I'm pregnant? What kind of advice? Because although it's the same scenario because these two are in it together, really they're not, because the woman is carrying the child, she's delivering the child. Her body is going to experience all level of change, where the man is able to witness these things, but he'll never understand it because he's not going to physically go through it.
Right.
What advice would you give?
I understand the question. I want to deal with the man first.
Come on.
Dealing with a male first. The first thing I would tell him is not to panic, or not to be scared. And the second thing do you know what you have to do in being a father? Because being a father, I'm a father myself, and my method is spend more time than money. Because you can spend all the money you want to, but if you're not spending the time, you're not being a father. And a lot of guys in the street had a mentality, I'm dropping that bread, or I'm taking care of mine because they're spending money, but they're not spending time at all. So one thing would be him finding out what does he have to do to actually be a father, not just a baby daddy, a creator of a child. And those things are, like I said, spend time. And being a father is not only being there for the child, but it's being there for the mother as well. Even if you and that young lady are not together, you still have to be there for that young lady. So just those type of things is what I would advise him on, and not to go into a rapid panic thinking he has to get finance to actually take care of the child. Just relax and understand it's time to man up. It's time to put certain things aside because you got a family now. And as far as a female, I wouldn't want her to feel like she is neglected to the point where she can't be successful no more. Even though having a child is an obstacle that's going to slow down the process of being successful, it doesn't negate the process. It doesn't mean that it's over. It just means you have to strive. So if you have to drop the baby off at daycare, catch the bus to school, catch the bus back to daycare, if those are the things you have to do, you have to be ready for that. So just the mentality of her main objective should be, what would I do if this guy leaves? And her second objective should be, I'm going to do everything I got to do to be successful no matter what.
Part of the difference between men and women will date a less attractive guy, but he has a great heart. Like he's nice, you know what I'm saying? But he ugly as hell, right? A man, if she's less attractive in the face, she a 10 in the waist.
Right.
Like she a 6 in the face, but she got body. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys not gonna date an ugly girl when she got body, which is craziness. Let me ask you this. When you say you spend time and not money, how did you arrive at that? And I say that because I grew up in a household, 2 parents, father I deem as the greatest man alive. Okay. And we had a conversation one day, and he said, you know, baby girl, I feel bad. And I said, why do you feel bad? And he felt bad because I played sports in high school and in college. And he was like, I missed so many of your games because I was working. But I had everything I wanted. But as an adult, I look back on that, and I don't remember feeling like my dad's not here because I knew he was at work. Right. But the fact that he thinks about it like, you had a game this day, you had a game that day, and I missed it. but I knew that I was spoiled. But sometimes.